Welcome back. Very good morning to one and all. Hope you are all fine and doing well. Yes, in the last class, we have dealt with the combination of resistors and in what way we can calculate the equivalent resistance either in series combination or in parallel combination. Of course, when there are two or more resistors in the electric circuit, we try to identify them whether they are in series or in parallel. Then we will try to reduce the electric circuit. Then we come to calculate the equivalent resistance. Of course, like you have learned in the concept of capacitors, which is well known as the reduction method and simplifying electric circuit. There are different techniques that we are going to learn further. But here, before going to that, like a Wheatson bridge circuit in capacitors, here we can have Wheatson bridge circuit and Wheatson bridge principle can be applied even in current electricity. So once look at this here. So in what way we can discuss Wheatson bridge principle? So here we are going to discuss about Wheatson bridge principle or Wheatson bridge circuit that we are going to discuss here. So here first of all, when there are four resistors connected in this way across a cell or battery, here four resistors R1, R2, R3, R4 and a fifth resistor is included in the closed circuit which is R5 and the cell is connected in this way. Here it is. So there are 5 resistors in a closed circuit connected across a cell or battery whose voltage is V. Now here when I current is drawn from the cell in the electric circuit, this current finds two different paths at this junction. So that let us suppose the current through R1 is I1. Then the current through R3 will be I minus I1. Because the circuit current is I1 is going through R1. So the remaining I minus I1 will go through R3. When I1 comes here, when I1 comes to this point, again it finds two paths. So let us suppose here I2 current is traveling through R2. So that through R5 you can have I1 minus I2. This I1 minus I2 is going to join with I minus I1 at this point. When they are going to join together, I1 minus I2 is going to join with I minus I1. Then I1 gets cancelled. So here it is I minus I2 through R4. Then it's going to join here. I minus I2 joined with I2. I2 gets cancelled. I will come out. So this is how you can expect the division of currents when there are resistors connected in this way. Now at this particular moment, we will not be able to identify which are in series, which are in parallel. The reason it is we don't have any resistor which is carrying the same current through them to say in series. We don't have any resistor to say which are at the same voltage to conclude they are in parallel. No two resistors are at same potential difference. You suppose here one junction is A, the other junction is B, and here one junction is C, the other junction is a D. So you are not sure that the potential difference across AC same as the potential difference across AB. No. So I could not be able to identify which are in series, which are in parallel. Then in such case, we have to apply KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law. Already we applied junction law because the current I divides as I1 and I minus I1. Then I1 divides as I2 and I1 minus I2. This I1 minus I2 and I minus I1 joining at this point will come out as I minus I2 and will join at this junction will come out as I. I have applied already junction law of currents. Now I have to apply Kirchhoff voltage law to write the equations. How many equations I can write? Yes. the number of closed loops will be equal to the number of equations that I can write. But minimum how many equations I require, that is equal to the number of variables. What are the variables here? I1, I2, I1, I2. Only 3 variables. I have restricted myself to 3 variables. Here if I take an I1, I2 and then I3, I4, the number of variables will be more. So I have confined to myself to 3 variables, I1, I and I2. So how many equations I have tried? 3 equations. But we have see here, this is one closed loop, this is another closed loop, and this entire closed loop I can utilize. So like that I come across many closed loops, but I have tried only 3 equations connecting I, I1 and I2, so that I can simplify the electric circuit. Anyway, this type of model applications even I will explain in the coming classes. Wait. But first, my intention is to explain you the concept of Wheatstone-Bridge principle. Yes, the same electric circuit you have seen even in capacitors. What is Wheatstone-Bridge principle? When R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4, then C and D will be at the same potential. Hope you do remember capacitors. C1 by C2 equal to C3 by C4. Then these 2 points will be at same potential. Then this fifth one will be ineffective. You have learned already. So similarly, in current electricity, in a closed loop of 5 resistors, if current is entering perpendicular to this line of equipotential. Hope it is clear. The line of equipotential points is perpendicular to the direction at which current entering into the electric circuit. Hope you can study it carefully. The line of equipotential points is perpendicular to the direction at which current entering into the electric circuit, and there will be a combination of 5 resistors. So that if R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4, C and D will be at the same potential. Yes, this can be proved like in capacitors. Hope you remember, but still I will give briefly. In capacitors, we have written potential difference across every capacitor. In current electricity, let us write potential drop across every resistor. Across every resistor, I write equations for potential drop. And then I will apply KVL for this loop, and for this loop I will write KVL. For 2 loops, this one and this one I will write KVL. Later, I write equation for VC minus VB. VC minus VB, potential difference across R2. VD minus VB, potential difference across R4. Then VC minus VB minus VD minus VB, then VB cancel, you will get VC minus VD equation. In that equation, you will put R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4 condition, then you will come across VC equal to VD. Once refer Wheatstone-Bridge circuit in capacitors and try in the same way to prove that. But here I have a small technique to prove Wheatstone-Bridge principle, still far better than the concept of capacitors. Yes. Here, what is Wheatstone-Bridge principle? If R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4, then C and D will be at same potential. If R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4, then VC equal to VD, which is by implies. This is Wheatstone-Bridge principle. So I can take LHS to prove RHS. I can take RHS to prove LHS. Now here I am going to start with this. Let us take potential difference across C and D are same. Let us start with RHS. VC equal to VD. When VC equal to VD, then potential difference across AC will be same as a potential difference across AD. Because VC equal to VD, so potential difference across AC equal to potential difference across AD. Am I right or not? Yes. So in that case, see, listen carefully. For some time I am going for some suppositions. Keep it aside. Keep this electric circuit aside. Now once look at this. Just I am giving you the simple technique to prove Wheatstone-Bridge principle in the case of a current electricity in a simple way, but not going for a complex calculation part. For that, take this electric circuit. Don't think that the earlier circuit is not right. The earlier circuit is right exactly. But my intention in this electric circuit is to tell you in what way you can apply junction law of currents in the combination of many more resistors in the electric circuit. But to prove Whitson bridge principle, simply take this electric circuit. This is R1, R2, R3, R4. Hope you are following. This is A and this is B, and here it is C and here it is D, and this is I current. But here I am supposing this is I1 and this is I3. I1 current through R1, R3. I told you VC equal to VD, then current through this is 0. As VC equal to VD, current through this is 0. So I1 comes as it is here, I3 comes as it is here. They join here and will come out as I. Don't ask me that, sir, here you have taken this is I1, I minus I1. You have asked to reduce the number of variables. Yes, I have told you. You have to reduce the number of variables in the electric circuit when there is a need to apply junction law of current, when there is a need to write KVL equations. This is to be followed. But my point is now to prove Whitson bridge principle. Whereas R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4 by implies VC equal to VD. I have started with VC equal to VD. So to prove Whitson bridge principle particularly, take this electric circuit. Take this electric circuit particularly. This is different from this, certainly. This circuit is taken to prove Whitson bridge principle. So here I1, I3 will come out as I1, I4 because VC equal to VD. Current through this resistor will be 0. You know very well. When there is no potential difference, no current. Now here as VC means here, VD here. So potential difference across AC equal to potential difference across AD. So first point, potential difference across AC equal to potential difference across AD. Next, as potential at C and D are same, another equation I can write, potential difference across BC will be equal to potential difference across BD. Now I will extend this calculation part. I am going to erase this. Once make a note of it. I repeat once again. To prove Whitson bridge principle in current electricity, this is the circuit to be taken and this is the calculation to be continued. Then what is this? What is this? When VC not equal to VD, you could not apply Whitson bridge principle. Then in what way you can solve this type of electric circuits? On taking the current division among all the resistors, on applying junction law of currents, then we will write KVL. Am I right or not? So this is how the current division will be. And like in capacitors, if you wish to prove Whitson bridge principle, you can take this equation, you can take this electric circuit and you can prove it. So you take it aside. Separately you take it aside as a note which explains the concept of division of currents with less number of possible variables. But this is the proof for Whitson bridge principle which is to be continued. Now I am going to erase this. Note down this because I am going to erase this. Yes, so our point is to prove Whitson bridge principle. What is Whitson bridge principle? In this electric circuit, if R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4, then potential at C and D will be same. That is Whitson bridge principle. Of course, it is by implication. So I have started with RHS, I am going to prove LHS. So as VC equal to VD taken, then VAC equal to VAD. Potential difference across AC, it means potential difference across AC means I1 R1 because I1 current traveling through R1 is equal to potential difference across AD means I3 R3. These two are equal. Next, potential difference across BC equal to potential difference across BD. It means across BC. So I1 R2 is equal to across BD means I3 R4. These two are equivalent. So highlight this equation. Now you take these two equations, divide Then I1 gets cancelled, R1 by R2 equal to RHS. I3 gets cancelled, R3 by R4. This equation by this equation, then you will get R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4. Means when VC equal to VD, R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4. Of course, you can write even R1 by R3 equal to R2 by R4. However, you can write. There is no issue with this. R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4, or else R1 by R3 equal to R2 by R4. However, you can write. This is Wheatson-Bridge principle and Wheatson-Bridge circle. So finally, the conclusion is, in a Wheatson-Bridge principle, we find 5 resistors in a closed circuit. Next, the 2 points will be at equipotential when R1 by R2 equal to, so R1 by R3 equal to R2 by R4, or else R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4. However, it is C and D will be at equipotential, then current through R5 will be 0. So you can delete this. This will be ineffective. So what? When this is ineffective, immediately when this equation is satisfied, immediately this implies, as this is going to be ineffective, R1 and R2 will be in series. Similarly, R3, R4 will be in series because same current is traveling. But again, both of them will be in parallel. R1, R2 in series will give some equivalent resistance. R3, R4 will be in series, will give some resistance. Again, both of them will be in parallel. Then if you simplify, you will get equivalent resistance across AB. So my intention is to tell you, if the Wheatson-Bridge principle holds good there, I mean if R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4, C and D are at same potential, then resistance across AB, equivalent resistance across AB can be calculated so that R1 in series with R2, R3 in series with R4, and again both of them will be in parallel. So you will get the circuit resistance across AB. So this is how Wheatson-Bridge principle can be applied. We go with a few more examples so that you can understand still more clearly about the concept of calculating the equivalent resistance in different electric circuits. Note down this. Yes, here once look at the few examples of calculating equivalent resistance in reduction method. See, for example, here there are 4 resistors that are connected in the closed circuit A, B, C, D. Now your question is, calculate the equivalent resistance across AB. Suppose this is your question. Calculate equivalent resistance across AB. First of all, between what points you wish to calculate equivalent resistance? Suppose a battery is connected between the 2 points. Means if this is the question, now the solution starts in this way. Here it is 3 ohm resistor. Here it is 2 ohm resistor. And here it is again 3 ohm resistor. And here it is a 2 ohm resistor. Now this is CD node AB. Across AB you wish to calculate equivalent resistance. So suppose a battery or cell is connected across AB. Just suppose. If this is the case, I current is drawn from the cell or battery. I current from the cell of voltage V, suppose. I current is drawn. This I current will divide at A. Will find the junction at A. So that if some current is traveling through this path, the same current will travel through this 3 ohm and the same current will travel through this, and here different current will travel, they will join here and will come out. Suppose this is I1 and this is I2. I divides as I1, I2. The same I1 current flows through 3 resistors here and will join with I2 here and will come out as I again. So from this what you can understand, this 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 2 ohm will be in series because same current is traveling through the path AD, DC and CV. So all these resistors will be in series. Then as they are in series, 2 plus 3, 5 plus 2, 7. So these three can be replaced with 7 ohm because in series combination equivalent is R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus and so on. So these three can be replaced with 7 ohm resistor. 7 ohm resistor. But already there is a 3 ohm resistor across AB. Across AB there is a 3 ohm resistor and these three can be replaced with 7 ohm. So now it seems to be 3 ohm and 7 ohm are in parallel between two common points A and B. Between the two common points 7 ohm, 3 ohm are in parallel. So that equivalent resistance across AB is due to the parallel combination of 7 ohm and 3 ohm. Two resistors are in parallel. Then R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. That is 21 by 10, which is equal to 2.1 ohm. This is the equivalent resistance across AB. So this is how the concept can be solved. Sir, I wish to calculate equivalent resistance across AD. Then suppose the battery connected across this, these three will be in series. Sir, I wish to calculate equivalent resistance across CD. Then the other three will be in series. Their resultant will be in parallel with 3 ohm. So in that way you can calculate equivalent resistance between any two points. For example, with the same question, if this is the first part, you suppose this is the first question. Second question can be what is the equivalent resistance across AC? Next question can be from the same electric circuit, what is the equivalent resistance across AC? Yes, what you are expecting is right. Between what points you wish to calculate equivalent resistance, you suppose a cell or battery is connected across them, then you will be able to identify which are in series and which are in parallel. So across AC, you suppose a battery is connected here. Across AC, you suppose, just you suppose. Then when I current is drawn from this I current, at A I divides as I1 and I2. So the same I1 will travel through this 3 ohm, the same I2 will travel through this 2 ohm, they will join here and will come out as I again. Means if you have seen, while calculating equivalent resistance between AC, these 2 ohm and 3 ohm are in series because same current traveling through them. This 3 ohm and this 2 ohm are in series. So your circuit can be now between AC, between A and C, 2, 3 in series together gives 2 plus 3, 5 ohm. Similarly, this 3 and 2 are in series. So together gives 3 plus 2, 5 ohm. Now between AC, these two are in parallel. Between AC, 5 ohm and 5 ohm are in parallel. So equivalent resistance across AC is R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. Then this is 25 by 10. This is equal to 2.9. So this is how equivalent resistance across AB, equivalent resistance across AC can be calculated. So this is nothing but a reduction method that you have learned in earlier concepts also. So once you note down this example, we discuss a few more examples. Once look at these two examples. Here, in this example, you have to calculate equivalent resistance across AB when all these resistors are R1, R2, R3. 3 resistors are there. You have to calculate equivalent resistance across AB. Yes, on seeing the geometrical arrangement of resistors, you may think they are in series, but they won't be. Because the same model you have learned already, but let me explain. See here, between A and D, there is a resistor R1. Across AD, there is a resistor R1 across AD. But you remember, the point D is directly connected with B. Meanwhile, there is no resistor, there is no capacitor. So there won't be any potential drop. While moving from D to B, there will be no potential drop because there is no resistor. If there is a resistor, there will be a potential drop. So that D and B will be at the same potential. So it is a D. Of course, this is B also, which are at the same potential. At the same time, A is given directly to C. Means A and C will be at the same potential. So AC will be equipotential points, DB will be equipotential points. Across AD, one resistor. But between CD, there is another resistor. C and D. This is C, this is D. So there is one more resistor which is R2. And across BC, there is another resistor. This is B, this is C. So there is another resistor R3. So if you have seen, all the three resistors R1, R2, R3 connected between 2 points, either AB or CD. Means all the three resistors will be in parallel. So R1 parallel to R2 parallel to R3 will give equivalent resistance across AB. That means 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So on seeing the geometrical circuit itself, you should not say all the three are in parallel. For a series, they will be in parallel. So this is one model of question which is a standard question in the competitive exams. And here there will be another standard question of calculating the equivalent resistance across AB. You have to calculate equivalent resistance across AB. Of course, there is a possibility for applying Wheatstone-Bridge principle since there are 5 resistors. But it will be applied under some terms and conditions. First of all, here this is A and this is B. You have to calculate equivalent resistance across AB. But R1 is the resistor connected across AD. So let me take CD also. This is C and this is D. R1 is the resistor connected across AD. And R2 is the resistor across AC. In between AC there is R2. In between AD there is R1. Okay, done. Next. In between BC, in between there is R4. So here there is R4. And in between BD there is R3. In between BD there is R3. I have to calculate equivalent resistance across AB. So let me suppose a battery connected across AB, where I have to calculate equivalent resistance. But there is R5 in between C and D. So the given circuit can be taken in a diamond shape in that way. But here Wheatstone-Bridge principle is applicable when R2 by R1 equal to R4 by R3. Hope you got it. R2 by R4, don't say R1 by R2 because earlier there is R1, here R2. But now here R2, here R1. R2 by R1 equal to R4 by R3, then R5 will be ineffective. Then you can apply Wheatstone-Bridge principle to calculate the equivalent resistance across AB. Usually while solving this question, all will be given as identical resistors. Given either in this question or in that question, they will be given with identical resistors, means each of same resistance, so that then the ratio will be equal, then this will be ineffective because CD will be at same potential, this can be removed directly. So these two in series, these two in parallel, again those two will be in. So these two in series, these two in series, again those two will be in parallel, so that you can calculate equivalent resistance across AB. So these are the two different circuit models to calculate the equivalent resistance across AB. Once you go through it, we discuss a few more applications. Yes, here there is another numerical application. Once you see, there are all identical resistors that are connected in this electric circuit. All are identical resistors, each of resistance R. Now my point is calculating equivalent resistance across AB is the question. Calculate equivalent resistance across AB. Yes. But when you wish to calculate equivalent resistance across AB, and supposing a cell or battery is connected across AB, if you suppose, and look at this electric circuit, of course current divides at A into 3 paths, and again current traveling through these paths. But you can see the upper portion of the electric circuit represents a width and bridge. The upper portion of electric circuit ABCD represents a width and bridge. So that R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4. C and D will be at equipotential. You take first question as an electric circuit, you take the first question, again keep solution, then again draw the electric circuit. In the question itself you don't make changes for the solution, try to understand. First take the question, then again for the solution draw again the circuit and then do solution in that circuit, remember that. So that there will be no confusion with question and answer, what changes you made while solving the answer and what data is given to solve the question. So in this way, here R1 by R2 equal to R3 by R4, then this will be equipotential points. CD will be equipotential. Means as C and D are same potential, this resistor will be ineffective. Means your equivalent circuit is going to be in this way. This is AB. Just remove the resistor between C and D. Remove the resistor. So this is D here. This is connected here. Now you remove the resistor between C and D. Now you are calculating equivalent resistance across AB. Then in that case, same current will travel through AC and BC. Same current will travel through them. So they are in series. Again AD, DB, same current will travel through AD and DB. So they will be in series. So that can be simplified as these two are in series, that gives R plus R 2R. These two are in series, R plus R gives 2R again. But here there is one more R between AB. There is one more R. These are all in between A and B. So these are all in parallel. So equivalent resistance across AB is equal to 2R in parallel with the 2R in parallel with R. This is to be simplified. So you know the basic fundamental equation, 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Will you simplify this? Yes, you can. So that you will come across the solution for equivalent resistance across A. So this is how there will be little more complex electric circuits that can be solved in the reduction method or using Width and Bridge principle circuit applications. So in the next class, we discuss a few more examples of considering equivalent resistance in an electric circuits. The different techniques, the different model of questions that we are going to discuss in the next class. Please make a note of it.